Then coming to IV cannulas, 14 gauge. Just write down. It's already I already given image above. 14 gauge is orange color cannula. 16 gauge is gray color. 18 gauge is green in color. 20 gauge is pink in color. 22 gauge is blue. 24 gauge is yellow. 26 gauge is purple. Then what is this? This is 17 gauge, which we are not using regularly. This is white in color. If you see, even in the last INSET examination, which has completed like 4 months back, also this question was there. If you see the trend, particularly in the last 3 years, even I discussed 3 questions whenever, like in the last 3, like even it was there in the last INSET, in the previous INSET, and in the AIMS 2020 January session. This is such an important question, IV cannulas, but all it takes is like hardly 2 minutes. It is 14 gauge cannula orange. They will, once they asked, they had given 18 gauge cannula color, green color cannula. They had given this one, and they asked which color cannula, which cannula is this, and another time they had given this pink one, 20 gauge cannula. Okay, be very careful. 14 gauge orange, 16 gauge gray, 18 green, 20 pink, 22 blue, 24 yellow, and 26 purple. Clear? If you see, the present day monitor looks like this. See here. Here, what all things are being monitored? Heart rate is being monitored, saturation is being monitored, arterial blood pressure. This is ABP. This is not NIBP. NIBP can also be measured like 128/56 with a mean of, and what is this? The amount of isoflurane, that is inhalation agent, how much they are consuming and how are leaving. EtCO2, end-tidal carbon dioxide, this is a measure of respiration, and see, it measures the temperature, and the amount of nitrous oxide, end-tidal oxygen, end-tidal nitrous oxide. If we are using halothane, it is measuring the respiratory rate, it is measuring the pulse pressure variation, it is measuring the MAC. We will be discussing tomorrow morning, minimum molecular concentration, measuring the pulse rate. Measuring the pulse rate, and it is also measuring any ST elevation in lead 1, ST elevation in lead 3, how much. All these things can be monitored with in a single thing. In addition to this, you can also measure, like these are the, in advanced monitors, you can also measure bispectral index, how depth the patient is, and you can also measure the train of neuromuscular monitoring. All these things can be done with a single monitor nowadays. This is the advance in the monitoring. If you, how many of you seen the monitor like this? Similar to this, in fact, it's not exactly same. How many of you seen this? This is a nerve, and this is an axoplasm. This is axoplasm. You have given the drug. Suppose, imagine this is a brachial plexus, and you have given a drug here. The drug, what happens is, it acts predominantly on the ligand-gated sodium channels. How does it act? This drug, this unionized local anesthetic, whatever you give in unionized local anesthetic, it enters through this nerve sheath and enters into the axoplasm, and it becomes ionized, and it blocks the channel from inside. Which channel it blocks? Ligand-gated sodium channels. It blocks ligand-gated sodium channels predominantly, and sometimes it can also blocks potassium channels, calcium channels, and NMDA receptors. Write down, please. Predominant action is on ligand-gated sodium channels. Unionized form, see, they will give you a question. What is the mechanism of action? Unionized form blocks from outside, unionized form blocks from inside, ionized form blocks from inside, ionized form blocks from outside. The answer is ionized form of local anesthetic blocks from inside. Also remember, it also acts on potassium channels, predominantly this one, ligand-gated sodium channels. Sometimes it also acts on potassium channels, calcium channels, and NMDA receptors. NMDA receptors. If they ask you specifically on sodium channels, where do they act? On sodium channels, they act on alpha subunit. And here the example is low flows, nasal cannula or nasal prongs, simple face mask, which is used for high flows are Remember this Venturi mask or Venti mask. Venturi mask or Venti mask, and non-rebreathing mask or NRBM mask. See, what happens is in nasal cannula or nasal prongs, we have formulas to calculate, but that doesn't mean it will deliver exactly that much. But Venturi mask and non-rebreathing mask, if you keep it like suppose 6 liters, it's going to deliver 35%, means it's going to deliver 35% no matter what. If you keep it 50 liters, it delivers 60%, it's going to deliver. Non-rebreathing mask, you keep it 50 liters and attach to the hyperoxygen, it comes like 100%, it will deliver 100%, but that's not the case. Nasal cannula, nasal prongs, though they say there's a formula to calculate which keeps the range, but not exactly that particular amount won't be generated. This is the difference between variable performance and fixed performance. Clear about this? Clear till now, everyone? Simple points, just take one point at a time so it will be easier for you guys. Then coming to Venti mask. Venturi mask, also known as Venturi mask, write down. Venti mask, also known as Venturi mask. You might have seen this. Probably you might have seen this with the green one attached here. Green one attached here. That's the most commonly used because green one is with a 15 liters per minute maximum flow where it can deliver FiO2 up to 60%. Okay, Venturi mask. It is a high flow system. It's used in high flow system, Venturi mask. It causes fixed oxygen delivery. Fixed oxygen delivery. The range it distributes is 24% to 60%. 24 to 60%. Venturi works on the principle of Bernoulli principle or Venturi principle. Bernoulli or Venturi principle. Bernoulli or Venturi principle. Then you might have seen this nasal prongs, yes or no? Nasal prongs are low flow systems which will be more convenient for the patient to use. There's no need to keep masks. Nowadays, like almost everyone knows, predominantly we are quite a few things about this post-COVID. Okay, nasal prongs. What is the formula to calculate FiO2? The formula to calculate how much FiO2 it generates. Formula to calculate FiO2 with nasal cannula is 21%, which is fixed, plus fresh gas flow in liters per minute into 4. For example, if I say fresh gas flow is 4 liters, example, if I say fresh gas flow is 4 liters, then what is the FiO2? Come on, guys. It is 21% plus 4 into 4, that is 37%. Few books say into 3, so there's usually a range basically. Okay, they say like sometimes that is why it is called as variable performance devices. So roughly you remember 21% plus fresh gas flow in liters per minute into 4. And sometimes if they calculate based on, if they give a range of 33 to 37%, also go with that. That means when they ask the range, just remember in formula into 3. So how do you, the same thing if you calculate with the 3, what happens? 21 plus 4 into 3 will become 12, 33 to 37%. That is how you calculate the range.